Hi there guys, so currently there seems to be a lot of fantasy matchups. Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson versus Tyson Fury, Mike Tyson versus Anthony Joshua, and there have been many disputes about who would win those fights. Now, Mike Tyson himself has come out and said he would beat Tyson Fury, he would beat Anthony Joshua, but he would not beat Muhammad Ali. This is what he had to say. Listen, if you're asking me when I was 20 years old, yes, there's no doubt. They're really good fighters and I respect all of these skills. It would have been very tough fighting them. And then when he was asked about Muhammad Ali, this is what he had to say. I know it's a fantasy game. Most likely I would win the fantasy. I wouldn't win the real fight. Ali is the greatest there has ever been. So there we go. That is what Mike Tyson has had to say about whether he believes he could beat Muhammad Ali, which the answer is no. And whether he believes he could beat Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, which the answer is yes. A 20-year-old Mike Tyson would beat them. That is the belief of Mike Tyson himself. Now, obviously, Mike Tyson had an illustrious career early on in his career. I mean, at the age of 23, that was when he got beaten by Buster Douglas, and Mike Tyson was branded never the same again. Never the same again at 23 years old. So Mike Tyson kind of had the twilight of his career early on. I mean, Mike Tyson still went on to have an incredible career after that. I'm not saying he didn't, but that invincibility to him, he kind of lost after that Buster Douglas fight. So Mike Tyson, not the same after the age of 23, which kind of does prove that age doesn't really matter because it's about your career. If you say start your career at 28, 29, you still have your whole boxing career ahead of you, like a Joe Joyce who is like 35 or something, and he's still just a contender, hasn't won a world title, hasn't even fought for a world title. He's still around British European level, but he still has his whole career ahead of him because he's 35 or something like that. Mike Tyson was 23 when he lost his world titles. So Joe Joyce is 12 years older than Mike Tyson was when he lost his world titles, and Joe Joyce is still a contender. So it clearly shows that age doesn't really matter. It's about the time period of your career. The training camps and the fights. It's not necessarily about your age. That plays a part as well, but ultimately it's about how many training camps you've done and how many fights you've had. That is what takes a toll on a fighter, not necessarily just the mathematics. So ultimately, Mike Tyson, before the age of 23, he believes he could beat Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. And you would have to say, given by his resume, yes, he would, because he has finished his career. Because if you are going off that alone, then you can see through his career, you can look through his whole resume and see who he's fought, who he's beaten, and you can take that as evidence that he would beat Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. You cannot say the same about Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury because their careers have not yet ended. So we don't know how good Tyson Fury is, really. We don't know how really good Anthony Joshua is, and we will only know that at the end of the career. So you can see who they fought, who they've beaten, who they have lost to. And then you can build a picture and say, okay, this guy's resume is better than that guy's. So ultimately, I'm going to say based off of that, they win. But if you're going to base it on actually in the ring, physical attributes, boxing ability, then you can kind of have a dispute about who would win. Obviously, Tyson Fury would look to box Mike Tyson. He's not going to go in there and have a war with him because that would kind of be silly. Someone like Mike Tyson who bobs and weaves, walks forward, doesn't get hit all that much when he's coming forward and lands his own devastating punches. Against Tyson Fury, Fury would have to box on the outside. He would have to be incredibly smart. And he would have to learn to throw straight shots as well. Because one thing about Mike Tyson, you cannot hook with him. If you try and hook, he'll just come under them. And that is when he can counter. So Mike Tyson would try and get on the inside against Tyson Fury. He would try and do the same against Anthony Joshua. And both of them, where they are taller, would not be able to land any hooks on Mike Tyson. Not one would barely land. So what they would have to do is throw only straight shots and bring those shots up the middle, uppercuts. That is what would catch Mike Tyson, because you would have to believe that both of them would not be fast enough to land their hooks on a prime Mike Tyson. Because do you remember what Mike Tyson was like? How he would tuck up and roll under those shots. He was devastating when he came forward. And in his prime, no one could really stop him. Buster Douglas was the only one who could find a remedy for him, and he had to go through absolute hell in order to do it. And that was kind of just tucking up and trying to beat Mike Tyson at his own game, trying to stand on the inside because you can't outbox him. He's just too fast, too powerful, and he just comes forward with devastating fashion. So what he tried to do is smother Mike Tyson's work, make sure that he wasn't able to come forward and bob and weave, roll under shots and land his own devastating power shots. So that was how Buster Douglas was able to beat Mike Tyson, by standing there and refusing to take a step back. Now obviously there were times when Mike Tyson did just bully him back, and that shows just how strong he was. But you can see what Buster Douglas was trying to do in there. Could Tyson Fury stand there and trade with Mike Tyson? I don't believe he would, and I don't believe Anthony Joshua would. I believe they would try and box him, and trying to outbox Mike Tyson would almost be mission impossible, because he was a great boxer and he was absolutely devastating coming forward. So a prime Mike Tyson would be damn near unbeatable. Obviously in his prime he did get beaten by Buster Douglas, and you could say he was never the same again. But as I said, Buster Douglas done something in the ring that no one had ever done before, and that was suck it up and be brave. Refuse to take a step back. And where he was a smaller guy as well, he was bigger than Mike Tyson, but not huge. He was able to smother Mike Tyson and get his work away on the inside. A taller guy is never going to be that good on the inside, especially against someone who is smaller and so gifted on the inside fighting game like Mike Tyson. But anyway guys, what are your thoughts on this? Do you believe that Mike Tyson would be a prime Tyson Fury and a prime Anthony Joshua, which they probably are in right now? They are both approaching their prime. Tyson Fury definitely is. Anthony Joshua, maybe 1 or 2 fights away. But a prime Mike Tyson, 20 years old, maybe even 22, would he beat those guys now? Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below, click the thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.